Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is Wyln News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. Wyln News starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on Wyln News. I'm Elizabeth DeRoba. President Donald Trump has signed over 200 executive orders and actions during his first day back in the Oval Office. Some of the actions signed on Monday included pardoning the January 6th rioters, temporarily lifting the ban on TikTok, and declaring an emergency at the southern border. Trump also signed actions to designate drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, to declare a national energy emergency, and to withdraw from the World Health Organization. For a full list of President Trump's executive orders and actions, you can visit whitehouse.gov/presidential-actions. A man has been taken into custody after police say he fled a standoff and threatened to shoot officers. According to Monnoy City Police, Joshua Osborne was arrested following an incident on Thursday, January 16th in the 1000 block of East Monnoy Street. Police say Osborne was wanted on felony strangulation charges and made threats to shoot police while being barricaded inside a home. During the standoff, officers say Osborne fled the building through a second-story window into an abandoned home next door. Osborne then reportedly fled the scene. He was later located and taken into police custody. The Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce is seeking businesses to take part in their annual job fair. The job fair will take place on Thursday, March 20th at the Laurel Mall in Hazleton. During the one-day event, participating businesses will have the opportunity to discuss career and internship opportunities with hundreds of individuals from throughout the Greater Hazleton area. The event will run from 10 o'clock a.m. to 3:30 p.m. The cost for businesses is $350 for chamber members and $500 for non-chamber members. The price includes an 8x8 foot booth space with side and back drops, a 6-foot skirted table, 2 chairs, a wastebasket, a company identification sign, and electric service if requested. Interested businesses can register online at hazletonchamber.org. A man from Wyln is facing charges after state police say he was involved in a crash on the Pennsylvania Turnpike and fled the scene in a stolen car. According to officials, troopers were first called to the scene in Penn Forest Township for a 2-vehicle crash near mile marker 86 southbound. Troopers say one of the drivers involved in the crash, 38-year-old Albert Abuchabe, fled the scene on foot. Officials say the suspect then physically removed a woman from her vehicle at the Hickory Run Service Plaza and drove from the scene. When state police initiated a traffic stop, officials say Abuchabe refused to stop. The car was later disabled with an induced stop, and Abuchabe was taken into custody. Abuchabe has been charged with robbery, assault, DUI, and fleeing and eluding a police officer in connection with the incident. He is currently behind bars at the Carbon County Correctional Facility on $500,000 straight bail. Coming up on Wyln News, Luzerne County officials announce an upcoming town hall meeting. Plus, PPL provides some tips for cold weather safety. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's only nationally ranked hospital. We turn setbacks into comebacks one movement at a time. Learn more at lvhn.org/ortho or 833-LV-ORTHO. We want your child to be our Wyln Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on Wyln News and Wyln social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the Wyln News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
WYLN TV 35 is expanding and is on the hunt for a dynamic salesperson to join our vibrant team. If you've got the passion and the drive, we want to hear from you. Send your resume to the email displayed on your screen. Don't miss this great opportunity.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central, and our trained sleep professionals are here to help you sleep like never before. With an extensive line of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we are sure to find you the right mattress at the right price. Free delivery and removal, interest-free financing for up to 60 months, and same or next day delivery on select models.
And don't forget, everyday low prices. Stop in to one of our 2 locations,
Route 93 in Escapec,
Or downtown Hazleton.
and see why Northeast and Central Pennsylvania sleeps better with Grand Central.
Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, fresh from the farm, everyday heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, Mark Steller had pain for months. Wasn't happy with his chiropractic results. He came here. We're going to show you a video of how we got his back fixed. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to WYLN News. The Luzerne County Administration will be hosting a town hall meeting on Wednesday, January 22nd at 5 o'clock p.m. The public meeting will take place at the Pittston Memorial Library, located at 47 Broad Street in Pittston. During the meeting, Luzerne County Manager Ramilda Crocamo and the Luzerne County Division Heads will provide updates to the public regarding ongoing county projects and initiatives. The meeting will also provide an opportunity for Luzerne County residents to ask questions and provide suggestions regarding the projects. The event is open to the public, and all Luzerne County residents are invited to attend. PPL Electric Utilities has issued some safety tips for staying warm during the cold weather advisory. During the cold temperatures, PPL reminds residents to be prepared and to put together an emergency kit with non-perishable food, water, medication, first aid supplies, batteries, and flashlights. It is also recommended to utilize space heaters, electric blankets, and generators only in a safe manner. For example, space heaters should never be plugged into extension cords or power strips and should also be kept away from flammable objects and foot traffic. In the event of a power outage, experts recommend using flashlights instead of candles to avoid fire risks and to unplug sensitive home electronics. To avoid spoiling food, the refrigerator and freezer should be kept closed as much as possible. Customers can also increase their home's energy efficiency by covering drafty windows, rolling up towels or blankets for the bottom of exterior doors, and allowing sunshine to come in through the windows during the day. For up-to-date outage alerts, you can visit pplelectric.com/outage. A man from Maryland is wanted by Wilkes-Barre Township Police. According to police, John Millard is wanted for retail theft, among other charges. He is described by police as a white male who stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighs 160 pounds. The public is warned not to approach or attempt to apprehend this individual. Anyone with information regarding the whereabouts of the suspect is asked to call 911. Wyln is bringing Hazleton area basketball into your living room this season. You can catch the Hazleton area boys basketball team on Tuesday, January 28th as they take on the Greater Nanticoke area Trojans at 7 o'clock p.m. Or you can catch the Hazleton area girls basketball team on Thursday, January 23rd at 7 o'clock p.m. as they face the Wilkes-Barre Wolfpack. Watch the games live on Wyln or watch them anytime on the Wyln TV 35 YouTube channel. Coming up on Frackville's News Choice, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Whitehaven Part 2. Plus, we learn about the dangers of skimming devices on this week's Police Talk. And stay right here on Wyln. We'll be right back.
Setbacks happen. When they do, all you want is to get back to what you love. We turn setbacks into comebacks. Trust the region's only nationally ranked orthopedic team to help get you there, one movement at a time. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Comebacks begin here.
Are you sitting at home living in pain? Maybe it's in your hands, maybe your back or your hips. The good news is you don't need to live in pain. Why? Because there is Omega XL, a one-of-a-kind, natural, powerful joint relief supplement created from the green lip mussels of New Zealand. Drug-free, non-habit forming. It's small, easy to swallow, and it's backed by more than 40 years of clinical research. As I was getting older, my joints started to feel that wear and tear. But then I tried Omega XL and it changed my life. If you're experiencing daily aches and pains due to aging and overuse, try Omega XL and see the difference it can make in your life.
Buy one, get two free. 2 bottles of Omega XL plus Vitamin XL D3, a value of more than $85. Call today and you pay only $39.95. Plus, you have nothing to lose because it's backed by our 60-day money-back guarantee. Call now.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on Wyln TV 35.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Whitehaven was starting to come into its own by the 1840s. At the same time, one of its first sons started on a unique journey in education. Warren Dusenberry had been born in Whitehaven in 1836. 4 years later, his family moved to Pike County, Illinois, which at the time was near the headquarters of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Several members of his family were converted to the Mormon faith, and although they did not immediately follow the group to Utah, they did so in 1860, settling full-time in Provo 2 years later. Dusenberry began a teaching career at what was known as the First Ward School in the Tabernacle's basement. In 1863, he and brother Wilson established the Dusenberry School, also known as Provo High School, for which they were originally the only faculty members. It closed due to financial hardship in 1865, but reopened 4 years later, becoming an important educational institution in Utah. For this reason, the restarted school was folded into the Timpanogos branch of the University of Deseret, today's University of Utah. This too would fold from financial issues in 1875, but Brigham Young himself, who had long dreamed of the Mormons having a church university, intervened to keep the school afloat. What was then known as the Brigham Young Academy, later to become today's Brigham Young University, opened in January 1876. Dusenberry would serve as its principal for the first few months of its existence. He would later be elected mayor of Provo in 1892 and serve as a district judge. Warren Dusenberry was killed by his son with an axe in 1915 and rests today in California. Back in Whitehaven itself, the lumber boom would get another boost in 1860 with the construction of a tannery across the river. The white pine and hemlock trees that grew around Whitehaven were perfect for the tanning process, and thus every day peelers would go out into the woods, strip the bark from the trees, and take it back to the tannery, where it would be used to process leather, hides. What was known as the Lehigh Tannery grew rapidly, and at its peak was the largest tannery in the entire United States, producing over 80,000 hides a day. A town then sprung up around the business, also named Lehigh Tannery, with its own school, ice house, and other businesses. A fire broke out in the tannery in 1865, but the damaged sections were soon rebuilt. 9 years later, in 1874, however, a more severe fire broke out, burning the building down to its foundation. It was decided at this point not to rebuild. Today, the ruins of the Lehigh Tannery can be seen along an adjoining hiking trail. The loss of trees in the region had already proved catastrophic years earlier, right after the tannery had opened. On June 4, 1862, rain fell heavily for almost 30 hours in the Whitehaven area. With the surrounding hills denuded of trees from excess lumbering, rocks and other debris were swept down into the Lehigh River, where they combined with logs that had escaped from behind dams that had been breached by the deluge. The mass of debris swept rapidly down the Lehigh Gorge, where they smashed through every lock, dam, and bridge in the Upper Grand, and continued their path of destruction all the way down to Canal's terminus in Easton. When the rains finally stopped, the Upper Grand was utterly ruined as a transportation network, and with the railroads rapidly rising in importance, it made little sense economically for Lehigh coal navigation to rebuild the stretch. Although the Lehigh Canal itself would continue operations through 1931, the Upper Grand section was never again reopened, ending canal service in the Whitehaven area.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years. S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Hello, I'm Wyln historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns.
Welcome back to Police Talk. I'm here with Jessica Sirkin, the Public Information Officer at the Hazleton City Police Department. And today we're here to talk about skimming devices and how they can be a problem.
Correct. We're finding that they're being found within the city and around the city a lot more frequently than they have in the past.
So what should people be looking out for?
So anywhere where a point of sale is done, so at a register, gas pump, things along those lines, you want to go ahead and look at the actual device that you're paying at. Whether you're inserting your chip, you're swiping, don't be afraid to go ahead and give it just a little bit of jiggle and see if it actually pops off. It's just a cover that goes over the normal one. Once you swipe your card, you tap the card, you insert the card, all of that information is then sent to the person who has that skimming device put on. And it can happen almost instantly. By the time you get your bags from the store, you walk out and get the card, you might already be getting alerts that there's money being drained from your bank account. It could happen several weeks later, so make sure you're also paying attention to your bank account, that money isn't being withdrawn without your permission.
Gotcha. And if someone does end up being on the receiving end of the scam, what can they do?
The first thing you should do is contact your bank, let them know that their fraudulent charges have been made on your card, get that card canceled, bring the copy of those bank statements, where the money was pulled from, what the dates are, what your financial institution is, and bring it to us so that we can go ahead and do a report. That goes for any kind of fraud case, not just if your credit card is skimmed from a location, but if anybody is able to get your information and start to use your money when they're not supposed to, we need all of those documentations to do the report.
Gotcha. Anything else you think the public needs to know about this?
Just be mindful where you're going. If something doesn't look right, trust your instincts. There are other ways to pay. Some people will solely pay with a credit card because there's no money on the credit card. You pay with the credit card, then you immediately transfer money from your debit over to the credit card so that they can't steal your information.
Gotcha. All right, well, I want to thank Jessica for coming on with us. A lot of great information, and we'll see you next time on Police Talk.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.